Good evening, guys. How are you? I hope you're fine. I'm also fine. So today we'll be doing maths paper 2 question 5 for November 2018 grade 11. Today we're gonna do trigonometry part, which is gonna be the diagram of the diagram for finding x, the cast diagram, the reduction angles, the identities, and general solution, which is out of 28 marks. So let's get on to they're saying in the diagram below, T is a point in the Cartesian plane such that OT is equals to 17. OT is equals to 17 units, and then P lies on OT. So this is our P that is lying on OT, and then K is a point on the positive axis. K is a point on the positive axis. Since we know from our cast diagram knowledge, we know that this side is positive for all trig ratios. That's why it is called a CAST, cast, all sine taco. It means with every sine, cos or tan is positive. Everything is positive here. Okay, then, and TOK is equals to theta. TOK is equals to theta. This theta is moving from here, and then it belongs here. So the first question, 5.1.1, they're saying the value of x. This is x. So what I know is that on the coordinates, this is x and this is what? Y. So what I'm gonna do to make your life easier, what you have to do, you just have to close your triangle like this. You just have to close this thing and make it a triangle. And then since I said this is my y, this is gonna be my y, and then you know this is the x on it. So this is gonna be x for this big triangle only. So how do you find the value of x? We have 15 here, we have 17 here, as they mentioned there. We have 17, this is 17, this is 15. They want x. We can use Pythagoras theorem. Okay, let's start. Okay, so 5.1.1, when I say Pythagoras theorem, I mean you're gonna say the radius squared is equals to x squared plus x squared. This is trigonometry. We're no longer gonna use about hypotenuse or what. No, we're just gonna say the radius squared is equals to x squared plus a y squared. Then what is my radius? It is 17. OT is this 17. So I'm just gonna say 17 squared. It is equals to, what is my x squared? It is the x that I'm looking for. Then what is my y? It is 15. So since I want my x, I'm gonna make it the subject. Sorry, 15 squared. I'm gonna make it the subject by taking this 15 to the other side, so that I can say x is equals to something. X squared, 17 squared minus 15. It is minus 15 because it was positive this side. When it goes to this side, it's gonna be what? Minus 15 is equals to x squared. Now my x is what? Is the what? Is the subject. So to get x, I will square root both sides. You just have to make things like this so that you can save time, because trigonometry is too long, especially reduction angle and everything. So you just have to simplify things, because if you're another person, you're just gonna say, oh, t is equals to what, this one, okay, what. So you just don't have to do that. So you simply take your calculator, 17 squared minus 15 squared, which is what? 8. And x squared is the same as x. Then it's what? 8. But you're gonna say therefore x is equals to negative 8. The reason I'm saying negative 8, it is this triangle was drawn in the second quadrant. In the second quadrant, my x value is negative because it's going where? To the left. You must know that diagram whereby you say this is negative, everything is positive here. You must know everything. Then just know what on the second quadrant the x value is what? Negative. And this is the tricky part, because if you got 8, you're gonna say 8 is equals to x, then all of these questions are gonna rely on the answer you got here. So if you wrote 8 there, everything's gonna be wrong, you see. So that is the tricky part about maths. You have to know everything. You have to know your cast diagrams. You have to know how to apply it. 5.1.2, they want tan theta. This, I said, as I mentioned earlier, Lana, I have my theta here. So what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna say tan theta is equals to what? What is my tan theta? Tan theta is opposite over adjacent. So what is my opposite? 15. So it's gonna be 15 for what? Negative 8. Then you're done. 5.1.3. It says it wants cos 180 minus theta. So from my knowledge of reduction angles, 180 minus theta is positive in the second quadrant, and it is positive for which trig ratio? Sine. So this is what cos is positive in the fourth quadrant. So I'm just gonna say negative cos theta, because cos theta is positive in the fourth quadrant, and now it is in the second quadrant. In the second quadrant, it is 180 minus theta, which is positive for sine. So I'm gonna say it is equals to cos it is what is adjacent over hypotenuse. So my cos negative cos theta will be what? Negative what? Let me do my bracket because I might have another negative. So it is adjacent. Your electricity, Jesus Christ. Okay. So what is my x value there? Is what? X, which is what? Negative 8. So since it is negative 8, I have to make another bracket, which is negative 8 over what? Hypotenuse, which is 17. Then I close my bracket. Then what is my answer? It is gonna simply be 8 over 17, because a negative and a negative is equal to a positive. You see? So a negative and a negative number is a positive number. You must know that. Okay. Then let's go to the next one. 5.1.4. It says it wants sine squared theta. Sine squared theta, it means my, what is sine? Sine, it is opposite over hypotenuse. And so which means my opposite over hypotenuse must be squared. So let me just make it for you. So sine squared theta is equals to opposite over hypotenuse squared. What is my opposite? 15. So let me do my bracket. 15 over what? 17 squared. Then let me check my answer. 15 over 17 squared, which is what? 225 over 289. Guys, this is meant, don't do a decimal, just write your answer as it is. So it's gonna be sorry about that, 225 over 289. Okay, you're done. Make sure what you don't do a mistake, a silly mistake. Go find and what of saying maybe, oh wait guys, I think we forgot something. Okay, I'll check it. Oh no, there's nothing wrong here, so we can continue. Let's go to the next one. What is my question saying? It is saying the value of a. Where is a? A is here, ne? So since a is there, I must make another triangle, which is gonna be like that. Then the value of x is -2, and the value of a is this one. You see? So now I have two triangles, and at the very same time, the angles can be equals. They can be equal to each other because they are in the same big triangle. So let's check. My a is the opposite side of this small triangle. Then my adjacent side, it is what? -2. So opposite over adjacent is for what? Tan. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna say tan theta. I'm gonna say, okay, first one, tan theta is equal to a over -2. You see? -2. But check, I have another 15 over -8, which was what? The one we got there. Like, since it for this big triangle, it is 15 over -8 for this big triangle. This big triangle. So what are we gonna do? We are gonna have to equate our two tan values, which is a over -2. It is equals to 15 over -8. Then I cross multiply. 15 times -2 is -30, is equals to -8a. Then I'm going to divide both sides by -8. Then my a is equals to let me check on my calculator. Okay, 15 divided by 8, -30 divided by -8, which is 15 over 4. you're done. Don't convert to decimals, guys. Please don't convert to decimals. Let's go to 5.2. 5.2, it is the reduction angles, whereby you have to reduct angles until they arrive at their final answer. You have to reduct them until. So what I'm looking at here, the sine 120 cos 210, tan 315 cos 27, 63, sin 63 cos 540. And what I'm seeing here, it is saying simplify without using a calculator. So let's check something. Sine 120 is what? Root 3 over 2. Cos 210 is what? Negative root 3 over 2. So they know what to, if you use a calculator, you're gonna get those values simply and then get 1 mark or 2 marks, because this question is out of 7 marks. You have to show them by using your reduction formula knowledge and reduct it step by step. You have to reduct it. Like you just have to show them everything you know about the reduction angles. So in the reduction angles, we have 180, 90, and 360. Those are the reduction angles that we can use to reduct a trig ratio. So what I'm gonna do, what I see here is sine 120. So I'm just gonna say sine open bracket, which trig ratio is close to 120. Let me just say 180. So I'm just gonna say 180. So must I subtract or add to get 120? I must subtract. How much must I subtract? 60. The reason I'm doing this, I want to show them that if I say 180 minus 60, I'm gonna get what? 120. You see? So times what? Cos what? 210. So what must I do? I'll between this, you have to choose this. These are your reduction angles. You have to choose between the three in order to get the angle given. So I have 210, so which means I'm gonna choose 180 again. So it's going to be 180. Must I add or subtract to get 210? I must add. How much must I add? 30. Then times what? Tan is 315, so which means I'm gonna use 360. Must I add or subtract to get 315? I must subtract. How much must I subtract? 15 times what? Cos h space cos what? 27. So check cos and sine are co-ratios of 90, which means 27 is close to 90. So I'm just gonna say 90 minus what? Let me check. 27 minus 90. I wanna check the value that is close to 90. 63. So I'm just gonna say cos 90 minus 63. I close my bracket over what? Sine 63. You see it is now saying sine 63. So leave it like that. I will tell you why. Sine 63. Then cos 540. It is already reducted, this one. So when it is saying cos 540, it means you have to reduct it until you get a simpler value. So I'm not gonna do many fractions because each time and space. So I'm just gonna reduct it on my own. So let's reduct it together. So 540 minus 360 is what? 180. So which means what I'm gonna use, okay, check. It's 540, so 540 minus 360 is 180. So which means what I'm gonna say 360 plus 180. 360 plus 180, I'm gonna get 540. It means what I'm gonna write cos 360 plus 180. 360 plus 180 gives me what? 540. You see? Okay, so now let's continue. Remember that these things are the same as our thetas. These are the angles that we use. These are called the special angles that we use. You have to know everything. Even that triangle for solving gamma values, you have to know it by heart. Okay, so let's continue. I'm gonna start here by saying sine 60. I'm gonna say sine 60. We don't use this one. This one was used to subtract the angle so that it can give us the value that was given there. Sine 60. Okay, this is 180 minus theta. So is 180 minus theta positive for sine? Yes, because 180 minus theta is this in the second quadrant, which is positive for sine. Then I'm gonna say times cos 180 plus theta. So I'm just gonna say cos 30. But before I continue, 180 plus theta is positive in which quadrant? Is positive in the third quadrant. So which means what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna say negative cos 30, because in the third quadrant only tan is positive. Multiply by tan 360 minus 15. 360 minus theta is positive in the fourth quadrant, which is positive for cos. So I'm gonna say minus tan 15. Wait, no, I'm wrong. 360 minus 45. Oh yeah, so it must be 45. Sorry guys, I made a mistake. 45. Then 45 times what? So I made a mistake. It was supposed to be 45. I thought what is the answer that I will get. So sorry. Cos 63. Remember something. What I want you to know is that sine and cos are co-ratios. They are being changed by 90. If there's a 90, so it means the cos will change to 90, or sine will change to cos. So what I'm gonna do, I'm just gonna say let me check. I'm gonna say sine 63. I get it was 90, so I'm gonna say times sine 63. This cos will change because there was a 90 there, over sine 63. I'm gonna leave it like that. Sine 63, it was already reducted. Then cos 180. But before I continue, I have to know 360 plus theta is what? Is positive. It is also in the first quadrant, which means everything is what? That one is gonna be what? Is gonna be positive. So let's continue, guys. Let's continue. As I said, you have to know that triangle of your angles. So what I know, I know what sine 60 is equals to okay, before I continue, I can just cancel this. I need to know what a negative times a negative value is equals to a positive value. So I'm just gonna say this one, I'll cancel them so that everything can be positive, you see, so that they can confuse you all. So let's continue. What I know is that since I have 63 and 63 common there, I'm gonna divide them and then I cancel them. So what is sine 60? From my knowledge, I know what the sine 60 is root 3 over 2 times what? Cos 30. From my knowledge, I know what cos 30 is what? Root 3 over 2 again. Tan 45. From my knowledge, I know what tan 45 is what? Is negative 1. So it's gonna be what? Times negative 1. Then sine 63 was cancelled. So what is cos 80? Cos 80 is also negative 1 over negative 1. And then what do I get? You can use your calculator right now. Let me use my calculator. It is like this, because if you continue saying this one times this one times this one, it's kind of time, guys. The marks are here. Like I'll show when I'm done. So let me check my calculator. I'll come back. It is equals to negative 3 over 4. I'm done. I get my 7 marks. What I can show you is that the answers are here. You get your first mark here. Your marks are here. You get your mark here, 1, and then you get your marks there, 2, for your special angles, and then 3, you get your marks for changing cos into sine, and then for changing your reduction angles, and for using your reduction angles, you get your 7 marks. I don't know how they mark, but just know what your marks are here. So let's continue, guys, because check, what did I say? It was what? Sine 120. So sine 120 is what? Root 3 over 2, you see? So you got it at the end. So let's continue. So now let's go to 5.3, which is the identities. You see these ones. So what I see here, they are saying we must prove that this 1 over cos theta minus cos theta over 1 plus sine theta is equals to tan theta. So check, since this is a fraction, I can combine these two since they are not the same. But if it was cos theta and cos theta, I was just gonna write 1 cos theta. But let me start. So I'm gonna say 1 over cos theta and 1 plus sine theta. The reason I'm making a bracket is that it is because I am multiplying. So some of them are saying, let me check, 1 plus cos theta times 1 is the same, and then cos cos squared theta over that one and that one and that one. So check, I'm gonna show two difference to it. They are saying 1 plus sine, okay, let's just start with cos. They are saying cos theta is there, ne? So which means I'm gonna say they're saying when you say this one and this one they cancel. When you're saying this one and this one is there. So I don't like that method. It also confuses me. But what I can tell you is that when you have this type of question and when you have this situation, you can simply cross multiply by saying cos theta times cos theta, which is cos squared theta, and then 1 plus sine theta times 1, which is what? Which is 1 plus sine theta again. So let me show you right now. So I'm just gonna see 1 plus sine theta minus cos square theta. So let's continue. I hope you know your identity. So I'm gonna say 1 plus sine theta. You have to know everything. Minus what? Cos squared theta can be written as 1 plus sine squared theta from your reduction angles, from your identities. It was derived from here. You are saying cos squared theta plus sine squared theta is equals to 1. So that's when you make this one the subject by saying cos squared theta is equals to 1 minus sine squared theta. So let's continue. So which is now gonna be a minus open bracket 1 minus sine squared theta. The reason I'm making a bracket is because there's another negative sign, so please be careful, guys. So another thing that you have to know, don't touch your denominator when you're solving identities. Don't touch your denominator, please. Don't touch them unless you are forced to at the end. But for now, let's leave them. So since there is a bracket, I have to open it. So it's going to be 1 plus sine theta. A negative times a positive is a negative 1. A negative times a negative is a positive sine squared theta over what? The very same thing, cos theta minus cos squared theta 1 plus sine theta. You see? And then let me do my maths. 1 plus minus 1 is 1 minus 1 is 0. So I'm gonna be left with 2 sine theta. So it's gonna be sine theta. Ne? Then since I have sine theta plus sine squared theta, I can check what's common. So which is going to be sine theta, and then I open my bracket. Sine theta times divided by sine theta is 1 plus sine theta. The reason I'm saying sine theta is because it was sine squared theta and over sine theta. So there will be one sine theta left over what? Cos theta 1 plus sine theta. And when you are at this point, you now start to become happy because you are now seeing that your ways are opening. So that's when I can say this one divided by this. So I'm left with sine theta over cos theta, which is equals to tan theta. Proven. You're done. As long as you can know your identities, that's when you can do everything. Then you're just gonna say, therefore it's equals to RHS, because this is the left hand side. So we're done. But what you have to know, you don't touch the denominator, you just apply your maths and everything in the numerator. Everything that you can see in every algebra or any mathematical knowledge, you can apply it there, and then you're done. Okay, let's go to the last question, 5.4 general solution. Okay, now let's go to the reduction button. General solution. I have 3 sine x is equals to 2 tan x. Okay, so now let me show you something. Before we start everything, let's remove these coefficients. Let me divide both sides by 3 because the 3 is on the left hand side. So we are gonna be left with sine x is equals to, okay, what is tan x? Wait, no, we don't do that. I made a mistake. Yo, guys, sorry, I forgot, man. Tan x is a identity, so I can say 3 sine x is equals to, sorry guys, mistakes happen, 2 times sine x over cos x. Angithi tan x is the one for sine over cos, and then that's when I do what I'm gonna be left with that's when I can cross multiply. So this 2 will go with the sine, so it will be 2 sine x, and then this one will go with that side, so it will be 3 sine x cos x. You see, like we are just cross multiplying, so like over 1, then this one times 1, this one times that one. So we will write it as in a point form, like 3 sine x cos x, then what in, oh, there's a 2, so let's remove these things, this. So now, since I have resolved my identities, I can now remove the 2. Must I remove the 2? No, not yet. Minus 2 sine x is equals to 0. Then what do? I wanna check what's common. What's common is the sine, so I'm just gonna sine x open bracket this side, and I'm left with 3 cos x minus 2 close bracket is equals to 0. Then sine x is equals to 0, or 3 cos x is equals to 3 cos x minus 2 is equals to 0. So this is a reduction angle. We have this is a general solution. You have to solve it into 2 ways, because check, this is 6 marks, so you have to be careful. So right now I'm gonna check where is sine positive. Sine is positive in the first and the second quadrant. So in the first quadrant there is what 90 and it. So how do we write our answers for reductions angles? You know what our things, we write it as x is equals to maybe tan plus 360k. So then it's going to be x is equals to, where is my sign positive in the first and the second? So in the first it is 90, but since lana it is 0, so I'm just gonna say 360k, because you just have to, because you don't have a value for e let me check my math. So I'm just gonna say the first x is equals to 360k, and then you do this k element of integers. You're done. Then let's do the last one. Or where is my sign positive again? In the second quadrant. So this is the same as x, saying x is equal to 180 plus 360k, because my value is 0, so there's nothing I can do, there's nothing I can subtract, there's nothing I can add. So after saying 180 plus 360k, then I'm gonna say k element of real numbers. We're done for this one. Then let's go to the second one. 3 cos x minus 2 is equals to 0. Then I'm gonna take 2 to the other side, then I'm dividing both sides by 3, since 3 is the coefficient of x. Then cos x is equals to 2 over 3. Let me find my x. To find x, you just have to say x is equals to cos 2 over 3. Then x is equals to what? I'm gonna check on my calculator. It's 48,19. 48,19. You want? So now I'm gonna check where is cos positive. Cos is positive in the first and the fourth quadrant. So what am I gonna do? I'm just gonna say the first one, I'm gonna say x is equal to 48,19 plus 360k. I am done. So that's when I'm gonna do that again. K element of real numbers. This thing has a mark, guys, don't underestimate it. Then let's go. Or x is equal to, cos is positive where? In the fourth quadrant. In the fourth quadrant, we say 360 minus, so it's gonna be 360 minus 48,19 plus 360 issue, sorry guys, 60k. Then this thing is so light, so I'm gonna say is equals to, what is 360 minus 48,19? So it is 311 comma what, comma 81 plus 360. Sorry guys, is sure way. Okay, so plus 360k, ne? So that's when I'm gonna say k element of real numbers, kanjalo nje. Then you get your 6 marks, just everything. Then you get your 6 marks, everything is just like that, then you're done. You see, this thing has a mark, guys, don't underestimate it. This thing has a mark, don't underestimate it. You must write it so that you can get your 1 or 2 marks. So as I made a mistake there, don't do the very same mistake I did. You see where you are supposed to, as you can see, this is where you are supposed to divide both sides by 3, and then that's when you get the answer. Thank you guys, thank you very much. Please like, subscribe, share my videos, promote my videos, tell everybody about my videos. Please share everything. Thank you very much. I'll upload more videos, hoping to grow this channel with you all. Thank you so much. Good night.